Now what we need to do is to animate this part here as well. Once this is finished, this part appears. But I don't want to make something too easy or too simple. Let's make something a bit more fancy. So what I want to do is that I want that this whole ring here rotates once, then these titles here disappear, and while everything here happens, this line here appears. So now we will have to play with PowerPoint again. So you have to be creative. You have to find ways to make PowerPoint do things that it's originally not supposed to do. So animating here all of this together is pointless, and it will take us a lot of time, because now this is like a full circle with different pieces, but we needed them individually before that in order to animate them one by one, but we don't need that anymore. However, if we group these objects now with the circle, all our animations will be gone. So what we will do is that we will duplicate this slide. Now we have two exactly same slides. On the first slide, we will take this out, because this thing will appear on the second slide. And on the second slide, we can do whatever we want, because there will be no transition between these two slides. So you will not actually see any difference. So you will not actually realize that these are two separate slides. So first of all, you have to go here and to delete all the animations that we have done so far. All right, no animations. Now group all the parts of this circle together. All right, now we have one circle, and now we can animate this circle. So click on it, add animation and more emphasis effects here, and go on spin. See, it's spinning. So that's too slow, obviously. So go on animation pane, settings, effect options. Let's make it faster. So 1 second, and let's also add this bouncing effect. Like this. Right, so we put this bounce effect here. I don't know exact seconds here, just put whatever feels the best to you. You see the circle is bouncing a little bit. So now when this circle bounces, let's also make all of this disappear, but let's make it in a more fun way. So select everything. Right, so the titles, the lines and the connectors, all of it, and go add animation and click on more exit effects. So I usually don't like super fancy effects because they look cheesy, but for this one you can try, for example, spinner. It feels like this whole thing is breaking apart. So then go animation pane and let this start right after the circle finishes turning. Now, that's not good, obviously, but we're almost there. So it cannot start afterwards. It actually has, all of this has to start at the same time as the circle, but it has to have a slight delay. So start with previous, click here, effect options. And since our circle takes exactly 1 second to rotate, let's try 0.6 seconds. All right, almost there. Almost there. I'll say 0.5. So to select all the animations, you probably know how to do it, but just in case you don't remember, you have to hold Control and then select. 0.5. Okay, that seems good. And now let's make this thing here appear with a simple wipe from top. But also once this circle hits this spot. So once again, it has to start with previous and probably previous here with a delay. Let's see 0.5 as well. All right. We have our weird fancy animation. So let's see what happens when it's all done. I have the feeling that these things here break apart a bit too soon, but like slightly. So actually I have to put it back to 0.6 seconds delay, or maybe try 0.55. I don't know if this exists. All right, here it actually seems exactly perfect. It feels like when this circle finishes rotating, when it actually hits the border, when it rotates one full time, that it sort of hits something, and then because it hits it, these things break apart. See? Especially that we have this bounce effect that makes it feel like it's hitting something. All right, and then we will start our timeline. So as you can see, we have two slides. The first slide is to create all the animations that we need. And on the second slide, we need to make even more animations. But since we need to group some of the objects together, some of the objects from the previous slide, well, that's why we need to duplicate this slide, and then we can do whatever we want on the second slide. The only problem, however, is that if you decide to make some changes on the first slide, it will obviously be different on the second slide. So either you do the exact same changes on the second slide, but obviously it's better to perfectly finish your first slide so you don't have any problems afterwards. So let's see so far what we came up with. All right. All right, that's it. Now it's time to build the rest of the timeline.